Okay, I think we're going live here. Okay, sweet. Sorry for the little delay, guys. Just getting everything going here. I'm just getting my chat going. So, happy Friday, everyone. Good to have you on the stream. I got a lot of fun things to talk about today. I'm really excited about it. Also, hope everyone has an excellent Halloween weekend. A safe and excellent Halloween weekend. So, let's go ahead and get the chat going here. I'm going to throw this in my chat app. See if we can get that going. Let's see. Get this to show up on top. And hopefully that is there. Okay, so let me know if you guys can hear the audio. If the audio is working, please give me a thumbs up. That would be excellent. And I think we are good. Okay, cool. I really want this chat to work. Last time it took a little bit to get it going, so hopefully we can get this chat popping up. There it is. Okay, sweet. Okay. Gary Dominguez, good evening. Is this happening tonight? Yes, it is happening now, and we are live. So thank you, everyone, for joining the live stream. Seeing a lot of thumbs up. Practical Engineer, you're going to have to turn your audio up. I think everyone else is good. Sweet. So, let's see. We have some people. William, good to see you on the chat, or on the live stream. Good to see you, Joe. Thanks for joining. Randy G, always a pleasure. How's that fridge treating you? Sandy Rose, thanks for joining. Okay, happy Halloween for sure. Okay, audio's working. That's great. Okay, so so tight. Thanks for joining. Awesome to see you here. Welcome, Pascal. Joe Tyson, always good to have you on here. Man, this is a lot of people that I'm familiar with. Thanks, guys. I love the live streaming community, and I love that I can kind of interact with you guys way easier than I can with like YouTube videos. So, awesome. So let's just jump right into it first. So this week I put out the EcoFlow River 2 review video. So this is the River 2. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, the video already, but basically this is their newest lineup with LFP batteries. So huge improvement with the LFP batteries. Now, unfortunately, I only got the small one. Some other channels got all three. Some channels got the Max and the River 2, just the small one. So I'm curious, what were your guys' thoughts about the River 2? Now, personally, I think that the AC capacity is going to be improved. That was the only thing that really bugged me on this, was just the AC capacity test. We got 74% of the rated capacity. I'm pretty sure that is a firmware issue. I think this is going to be fixed. I think we're going to see some really good numbers out of this. Now, how does this compare to the EB3A? So let me grab the EB3A. Personally, I think the EB3A is a better power station. But you have to remember, the River 2 the River 2 lineup is 3 power stations. So you have the River 2, the smallest one, you have the Max, and you have the Pro. Blue Yeti only has the EB3A. So I do feel like the River 2 beats the EB3A. This has double the solar, basically, double the inverter, around the same capacity. But this, I mean, it has a few other things, right? UPS mode that actually has a fast turnover. This one right here is a little bit buggy, the UPS mode. I guess I should stop showing that comment there. But I do feel the EB3A is better than the River 2. However, my thing I'm thinking here is the River 2, the Max, and the Pro are better than the EB55 and the EB70 from Blue Yeti. So the larger River 2 series, I think, are better than the EB55 and EB70. So pretty interesting. Let me go ahead and see what you guys are saying about it. I'm kind of curious what the comments are saying here. So let me go ahead and check this out. Okay. Zigzag, dang it, we got to bug EcoFlow to get Jason all the models. I think they are going to send out the Pro. The Max would be cool to get. I think the Max is very interesting. But yeah, I only got the small one, so yeah, I can't really change that. Explain the info on the battery. Maybe clarify that. You mean the actual battery on the 2 power stations? Saw the video. It seems the EB3A is a better unit. Yeah, I do agree with that. I think it's better. EB3A is better. They need to step up to other LiFePro batteries. Pascal, all EcoFlow units, all their new units are out actually LFP batteries now, so thumbs up there. So basically all Blue Eddy and EcoFlow products have been migrated over to LFP, so good news there. Joe's thinking he found it toy-like. Great battery upgrade, but yeah. I mean, there were a few things missing. It didn't have wireless charging, but someone else mentioned that wireless charging isn't that efficient, and just plugging straight into the USB-C. I mean, I can put this over here. Let's see if I can get that here. Okay, barely. The USB-C is actually more efficient for charging. So yeah. EB3A had many reported issues while performance better. Okay. So I do think both of them have some issues, at least at launch. Like the River 2, I felt was a little bit rushed, just a little bit for the holiday season. So mine was, you could see that I had just a little bit of bugs with the output. So yeah, overall, I like this power station. Some people were mentioning they didn't like the handle design. I think the handle design is okay. Obviously, no handle is the best, and that's what you get on the EB3A, right? The handle folds inside. But I do feel like this is an improvement. The design and shape and everything like that, I do feel like this is an improvement over the River Pro and the River Max and the River. You do have to have a little bit more size because of the LFP batteries. So it's going to be a little bit stouter. It's going to be a little bit bigger. Let's go through here. Wow, Kevin Holland, awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate the donation. Now, Kevin is actually a local subscriber. I have been near his house, and so we're going to hook up sometime. So really appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Will Smith, thank you. Thank you guys so much for these chat donations. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's jump back to some of these comments here. Hobotech got all 3, but the Max was not ready, and it seems the smallest one was most ready. I agree with that. Watch your review first, but it's a tiny unit. The UPS function may or may not be fast enough. Exactly. The EPS mode, they call it EPS mode. I think it'll work great for their larger units. Like, say you need to power like a mini fridge, and if the power goes out, it'll keep that fridge running. I think that's a big benefit to it. So I do agree with PM here. Wasn't quite polished. I think with some firmware updates and with some time, the River 2 lineup is going to be excellent. Like, I don't think there's going to be any bugs at all. It would have been nice if it had a 100-watt USB-C. William, the 2 larger ones, the 500-watt and the 800-watt model, the Max and the Pro, they both have 100-watt USB-C bidirectional ports. So just the small one has a 60-watt port. I don't know how much money that saved them. It would have been nice to have a 100-watt port there. I do agree. But just like I said, I believe the middle and the larger units are just that much better. They have all the features. Seems like they all came back with lower capacity. I do think that was kind of a firmware bug. Mine did really good on the DC capacity. I got 89%, which is ideal for DC output. I mean, anything above right around 90 is, I'd say, fairly good. Toy-like. Yeah, some people did say toy-like. I mean, it looks exactly. Just remember, there's a dust cover on the 12-volt output on the larger models. This one doesn't have the dust cover. Again, like they're trying to really save pennies on this one. I don't know why they did that, but maybe it looks like a toy, but it feels good. Like the quality of it, and it looks a lot like the Delta models. Like this is the same design that's on the Delta models, right? The bigger power stations. So I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, everyone has their opinions. Yep. Hopefully I get the Max or the Pro. We'll have to see with time. Hey Gary, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, so can you see the EB3A versus the River 2 on an IceGo 20 test? So just look at the DC capacity results. They both had really good DC idle time, so whatever had the most capacity is going to run longer on the Go 20. And Nav R1 just bought a Go 20 12-volt fridge. They're awesome. Let me just pull up the spreadsheet really quick. Let's see which one actually got the most capacity here. So I'm just pulling up the spreadsheet. Let me throw it on the second screen here. Okay, so let's make this bigger. So actual capacity. So I actually split this up, guys. I made a bunch of changes to this. So I put all the information on this first page. All the grading information on this first page, and then I moved all the pricing and actual performance and results onto the second page, just to make it easier. So if we go over to the actual capacity, we have the AC capacity, DC capacity, and the EB3A. Okay, so right here, the River 2, we got 228. Oh my gosh, look at that. I didn't even notice. They have the same exact DC capacity numbers, 228. So you're going to get very similar run times on the DC output for both of these models. I got 228 on each one. Now, the 228 for the River 2 is a little bit better number versus the advertised capacity. It's 89%. Can you guys even see that? Probably. I hope you guys can see that. Anyway, they're the same number, 228 watt hours. Just to be clear, though, the fridges in hotter weather, they use a lot of power, and I always recommend at least a 500 watt hour power station if you want a long run time. Okay, let's fly down here. Let's see what else we got here. I wonder how the Blue Eddy support is dealing with the reported issues. Their reputation with customer service isn't the best. Yes, I agree. They have come out and mentioned, if you're in any of the Blue Eddy groups, they have come out and say, we're working on improving this. And I'm glad that they accept it because, yes, the Blue Eddy support isn't the best. I've heard good stories and I've heard bad stories. But my personal experience with EcoFlow has been very good. Now, I guess I'll just bring up the issue here. So if you guys remember, I broke my EB3A. I have just been too busy to RMA this thing. Now, I just barely, in their support app, Blue Eddy updated their app. It's a little bit better now. In their support app, you can actually submit a support ticket like you can with EcoFlow. So I just did that, and it was less than 24 hours ago. I have not heard back. So I am going to make a video process about getting this fixed. For anybody knowing what the actual issue, or wanting to know what the issue is, come on. Oh, it says 0%. I'm not trying to turn on the DC output. Basically, the DC output is fried on this thing. I plugged in a 12-volt compressor for a 12-volt air compressor for a tire, fried the DC output. I call that the torture test for a reason. That is actually the same exact issue that broke my EcoFlow River Pro, was doing a 12-volt air compressor test. So just be aware, guys, it's a torture test. You shouldn't do it unless you know. The only power station I absolutely know that works with that and works really well was the Bouge RV Flash 600 and the Energizer 320. You will not blow those power stations by using that. Thanks for joining, Rip. Less stuff, more freedom. I've tested all the EcoFlow products right up next to, okay, sorry, let me start over here. I've tested all the EcoFlow products right up next to the Blue Eddy, Evil Empire, and the EcoFlow products are usually always far superior. Yep. I mean, that's, I think on the larger end of the units, AC500, AC300, Blue Eddy has them beat. The Delta Pro does not stand up head to head versus the AC300 and AC500. And that's just how it is. EcoFlow did come out with their modular system. The one with, it's got like the actual battery. It's got the wall unit that's like the inverter and MPPT charge controller. And then you have the batteries. So I think they're coming out with some stuff too. Sandy Rose, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks, guys. Make sure you hit the like button for sure. Let's see here. Wouldn't it be nice if we could get everything out of the EV3A design in the design feature like the Ace Volt that's behind you? Hey, I'm going to talk about the Ace Volt later. You're bringing that up too early. For $50, you better hook him up. Yeah, I better just give him a donation, right? I'll drop him off a solar panel or something. He has a really cool trailer. I don't know. Maybe if he's interested, maybe we can cover his trailer solar design. Yeah, it's Kevin's. Hey DJ, good to see you. Thanks for joining. I bought another EB3A when they went on sale on Amazon. It charges so fast. Yeah, I do like the fast charging capability. We can all hope that the EB70, well, so there's the EB70, EB70S. Yeah, they need to release I think it'll be maybe like the EB7A. That'd be my guess. But yeah, I would hope that it would be better for sure. Turn up my mic, low volume. It's maxed out, guys. My mic's not getting any louder. It might be behind this a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit. These lapel mics are a little tough sometimes. Okay. Okay, let's like number 27. Thanks, KJ. Okay, we're going to fly down this list here. Can we see your second screen? I had it turned on earlier. I think you're just mentioning it here. Let's see, chicken in hell. Hey Brad, how long will this live be? I don't know, maybe over an hour. I don't know. I don't think it'll be too long. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Do you have a spreadsheet for DC refrigerators? Yes, I do. Let me swap back over to that screen here. So it's in the same looking at the spreadsheet, if you look at the bottom, there's tabs, right? You can go through each one. I have a 12-volt comparison fridge page. So this one here talks about all of my fridges I've tested, the pricing, discount codes, and all the specs and performance. You can see what it pulls at idle, what it pulls on eco mode, and what it pulls on max mode.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, hey, girls. Hey, we got costumes. Here, scoot over a little bit. So, Demi, what are you?
A goddess.
You're a goddess. And back up a little bit, Cleo. What are you?
A vampire bat.
A vampire bat? Oh my goodness. Who's coming in? Here, give it
Jada the strawberry.
Come on, Jada. Come on in. Come here. And Yeti. Oh my goodness.
Jada's a
Come here.
strawberry.
Come here. Come here. Oh my goodness. Look at this plump strawberry.
Sure.
Let me turn off the chat thing really quick. Awesome. Well, happy Halloween, everyone. Girls just wanted to do a costume parade. So this is Jada. She's 1 year old. She's our youngest. And then Cleo's the vampire bat in the black. Demi is the one with the goddess costume. Oh my goodness. She wants to move. This is Katie, if you haven't met Katie. She's my wife. And Yeti's our dog right here.
Yeah.
Oh, Jada is...
Him.
Yeah. Jada is very ready for a bed. It is past her bedtime.
Oh, it's great to see you.
Oh, sorry,
How
I
you
didn't mean
doing?
that.
Good vampire teeth.
Thank you, Cleo. You're so funny. Okay, well, thanks for showing off your costume, girls.
Vampire
Can you fly out of here? Can you fly out like a vampire bat? Cleo loves being on the camera. On a previous live stream, she was making the funniest faces. It was pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys saw that other stream. Yeti, you can see him getting up right here. He just had leg surgery. His back knee. So both of his knees are bad. So he just had surgery. That's some pricey dog surgery. But he's doing really good. He's recovering really good. We're happy for him. He's 8 years old, so. Awesome. Let's jump back into here. These comments. Good surprise. That's awesome. I love my girls. I am a lone man other than my dog. I have 3 girls and my wife, so. So anyway, back to the fridge. So yes, I do have the spreadsheet. Anyway, so check out my power station grading sheet, and then at the bottom there's a tab for 12-volt fridge comparison. So you guys can see that down there. Back to the webcam. Okay. I just got the River Max, and I wish I got the Pro. The Pro is definitely larger, and it has that expansion ability, but they're both great power stations. The old EcoFlow power stations, they just put out a ton of power. Hey, Ask I've Solar, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you joining. I think a lot of our subscriber base kind of crosses back and forth, so a lot of my subscribers know about Ask I've Solar. Yeah, my camera's probably a little blurry. I don't know. It could be the stream itself. Sometimes it kind of, it's just the latency of YouTube and whatever's going on. Zigzag. My friend bought a Pecron E2000 from your review, and it's been awesome so far. Now that was a sweet budget, large power station. I am excited to test their expansion batteries when they're available because they are going to be affordable. For a 3,000 watt hour capacity battery, I think they're pricing around 1,500 bucks. So interesting, right? Let's see here. Thanks, Randy G. What would you recommend for the best 100 watt solar panels for the money? Watch my bifold solar panel video. That'll give you a really good comparison. I like bifold panels. I have a lot. If you look through my solar panel playlist, you'll see all my solar panel reviews. Jose. Yeah, you can leave it plugged in without damaging it. That's fine. The Hurricane Pepper. So many new crowdfunded units coming out. It will keep all the manufacturers innovating, hopefully. Yes. I get so many emails about reviewing products, and I've really stopped accepting reviews for a little bit just to catch up with my content. I always have so much content to do. At one point, I had 15 videos lined up, and you guys, it's just so stressful having those videos lined up. So I've kind of cut back, and I'm just trying to really focus on what you guys would like. I know the videos that do well, and I know the products that you guys are looking for, so I'm kind of really backing off on products that I know you guys aren't going to like. One of those main things is I'm not reviewing NMC power stations anymore. I'm not going to do the lithium-ion batteries anymore. Thanks, Joe Tyson. Kimberjack, thank you. Yeah, dude, I have 3. I think you have 4 kids, though, right? Yep. Halloween's coming up. They always get so excited for Halloween. Okay, let's keep going down here. I'm not sure if you have enough personality in your house. Yeah, the kiddos are crazy. We love them, though. And yeah, Katie's not in my videos very often. I thought about doing a live stream with her sometime. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, Carrie. Okay, so let's go. Can you please touch on using landscape wire for a solar panel extension? Maybe what I'll do in a future video, I'll write that down, is just talk about using landscape wire. And I'll briefly talk about it right here, but basically the landscape wire is UV resistant and it has a really tough outer wire, like a protective insulating coating. So it's really good for outdoor wire that can sit in the sun. So it works really well for solar extension cables. And I like how they're connected together. So you don't have 2 wires all over the place. You only have 1 wire with 2 conductors. You just have to know how to strip the wire and either crimp on whatever proper connections you want to do, whether it's MC4 or Anderson Power Pole or SAE. You just have to know how to set it up. But 12-2 is great. 10-2 is even better. They do have some deals on 10 gauge wire. If you're going a long distance, I always recommend 10 gauge wire for less voltage drop. But 12 gauge wire does really well. I'd say up to 40 to 50 feet. Yep. Thanks. I love dogs. We love dogs here too. Six months ago, reviewers were raving about the Blue Eddy EB70S. Yes, it is a great power station. It's just things evolve very quickly with technology, and I'd consider these batteries technology. So just be aware, if you buy a power station, sometimes even a week to 2 months later, something new is going to come out. That does not mean that your power station that you purchased in the past doesn't work very well. It's just it might not have some of the best features or the newest features. A lot of the new features are kind of gimmicks. Like there's a few that are really important. App connectivity is really good. But just be aware, the EB70 is a great power station. It just goes and goes and goes. It gets really decent solar input. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with that power station at all. Used your code for the VL45. Awesome. VL45 is one of my favorite fridges. They are efficient, they're durable, and they will just go and go and go with those Danfoss compressors. And I've heard many good, I have a lot of IceCo reviews, and a lot of my comments on the IceCo review videos are, I've had this fridge for 3 years, it runs 24/7, and it just keeps going. And a lot of long haul truckers have these IceCo fridges in their trucks, and they have really good experience with them. So I like the mid-grade fridge level, and IceCo is a great fridge there. I just can't, justify spending $1,200 on a fridge. So if you could buy a fridge that's $500 that does the same thing as these $1,200 fridges and has a 5-year warranty on the compressor, why not? Joe's a lone man too. Welcome, thanks for joining the stream. Okay, we're gonna catch up here. I'm gonna jump through some of these comments, just skimming through really quick. Don't stress yourself too much with too many videos. Yeah, it's just hard trying to keep up with it. Yeah, I do have the video down for voltage drop. So I do have that video down, and I will be doing it. So just be aware. I have some cool plans for that. And it's just going to be a quick video testing that, but I think it's going to be great. Okay. What do you think about Zender's semi-solid state batteries with LFP and this? Okay, yeah. So the Superbase V is pretty cool. Semi-solid state is interesting because it gets the same amount of life cycles or charge cycles as LFP, but it is lighter weight and more energy dense than LFP. So it is better, but it doesn't get more charge cycles, or even gets less sometimes. From my understanding, it's actually just an iteration of an NMC chemistry, but instead of having a liquid inside, it's more of a solid material. So super interesting. I don't know all the details about it, but pretty decent. That power station looked really good in the Kickstarter. Now, Hobotech did his review on it, but it was a pre-production unit that was not even finished. So I just don't like those early tests. It's like, why review a power station if it's not even going to be what your viewers end up purchasing? So I try to say no to any of those early pre-production units. So just FYI, Zender did reach out and wanted me to review that power station, but because they said it was not going to be finished, I decided not to go with the review. And they said they're going to send out one when they finally get it in full production. So I was like, I don't want to test any pre-production junk. I'm not going to waste my time on that. Send me a unit that's ready that my viewers are going to be purchasing, and that's what we ended on. So hopefully they're okay with that. TJ Miller uses it in his semi. Awesome, good to know. Give us an update, later on. If we ever do a live stream in the future, just hey, this has been going for 6 months nonstop. DJ Bartlett, I do not have any plans for 400 watt panels. That would be the EcoFlow panels, the only one I haven't. I reviewed the PV400. Mark Bottoms, welcome to the stream. It doesn't matter if you're late. So let's go ahead. So I want to talk about a few things. One of the things on my to-do list was let's do, okay. I got a lot of things I want to talk about. So let's talk about the giveaway rules. We're already here. Let's just do the giveaway rules. So I am going to bring this up on the other screen. Oops, this one. Okay. Apologize for my delay here. Okay. This is the Blue Eddy sale. Now, if I'm going to give away Blue Eddy product because of a Halloween sale, I kind of feel obligated just to show you guys the sale prices here, okay? It's going to be quick, but I have to thank Blue Eddy for allowing me to give away a power station to you guys. They reached out to me. This was not my request at all, and I did a power station giveaway last Halloween, so that was pretty cool. But let's go ahead and just go into the Halloween sale. And so you'll see right here, the AC200 Max is $100 off. Now this is for $1,700 with 2,000 watt hours, I'd say the AC200 Max is pretty interesting. Now I will be doing, I think you guys are gonna love this video. I have the EB200P, the AC200P, and the AC200 Max. And I will be doing a comparison video. It's around November 11th. I'm going to be doing a comparison video between all three of those to see which one comes out on top. Not for just overall features, but the price, the actual performance. It's going to be the ultimate review between Blue Eddy power stations on the top. So the three biggest power stations, at least the 2,000 watt hour model. So pretty interesting. Okay, so 200 Max is on sale. They have a battery combination on sale. And then with the B300, because it is compatible with B320s or B300s and B230s. And then solar panels. Okay, so these are kind of like the B230 for $12.99. That's 2,000 watt hours of capacity. It's almost 50 cents a watt hour, almost. So that's pretty decent. The B300 is a little bit more expensive. Let me move myself to the other side. I'm in the way. Anyway, I will just let you guys know that there's some really good sales here. I'm curious, does anybody have an EP500? I would really like to know. I feel like these are not that common, the EP500s. Let me know if you guys have one below in the comments. Like I can catch up with the comments. I even have comments on slow mode, guys. You guys are throwing out comments like crazy. It's hard to keep up. Okay, so that is the sale. Now let's go ahead and talk about, I'm going to do the giveaway in a very similar way that I did last time. Let me go ahead and bring this up and pull this over here. So let me pull up this link really quick. I'm going to throw it in the chat. We are going to do a Google form, and that's just the best way to do this. So that is the form. I just posted it in the chat. Let me get back to myself. So the form that to enter into the giveaway for the Blue Eddy EB3A, you click on the form and you fill out all the questions there, and then you are entered in. Now I will be selecting a winner, and the winner will be selected on Halloween. So I will email the winner on Halloween that they have won the EB3A. And then we'll work back and forth with shipping address and name and phone number, all that stuff, because Blue Eddy needs that to ship it to you. So I will periodically throw that link into the, basically into the chat, so you guys can know how to enter in to win the EB3A. So once again, fill out the Google form with your name, your YouTube name, so I can know who you are with your actual YouTube account. And then your email address, because that's how I'll be talking to you to let you know that you won. Of course, I'm not going to be sharing this email with anybody. Yeah, the email is just for the contest. And then I have a few other questions in there. So feel free to enter into that. I'm only going to be putting the link in this video. I'm not going to put it anywhere else. So if you're watching the video and you've watched the live stream before Monday, then you know that now how to enter to get that win. So good luck to everybody that enters. Be sweet. I wish I could give one away to every single person here. Let's jump back to the comments here. Oops, this one. Okay, Mr. Winger. It's amazing that Dometic and other expensive fridges can effectively compete against companies like Iceco given the price differential. Yes. Because if you look at Iceco, the it's basically as efficient. It's as efficient as a Dometic. It has, well, actually, Dometic has gone to their own compressor. Dometic used to be using Danfoss C-Cop compressors, but they've gone to their own compressors now. So, I don't know. I haven't tested Dometic, but maybe one day, right? Gary Wright. Hey, thanks for joining, Gary. We got a Blue Yeti AC500. It's awesome. Our AC200 Max is being sent to the barn. We ordered the new POW 200-watt panels to use with our Blue Yeti charging enhancer. Awesome. I'm glad you got those. Yeah, those were the perfect panels for the charging enhancer. Jose saw the drilling. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that those Chins batteries that were in that video were not semi-solid state. I don't know. Zender, the Super Base V, they took those batteries, the semi-solid state batteries, in their unit and they shot it with a gun. And they have the video. If you go to Kickstarter, you go all the way to the bottom. It shows them shooting their batteries with guns, and the battery does not have any issues. There's no explosion, there's no smoke, there's no fire. So I do believe the Super Base V batteries are safe. I don't think they're going to explode like the Chin's Will Prowse semi-state batteries did. Oh, man. I'm getting over a very serious sickness that I had. I tested negative for COVID, but it was a killer. And my voice is still getting over it. But when you do these live streams, you're talking straight for 2 hours. Your voice kind of gets to you. So let's go ahead. Let's move on down. Chad Jones, I have a hard time taking Hobotech seriously. I'll plead the fifth. I test the Zender. Hey, yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a great power station. Yeah. Hey, have you been putting out videos lately though? I mean, you got to keep the videos coming if you want to get your YouTube channel growing. I did get recommendations for a few of your videos, but I haven't seen any lately. I don't know. If you guys want to see some, Sitai does have some videos on his channel. Okay, let's go on down. Got to fly through some of these comments. Man, you guys have so many comments. So good. Okay. Okay. Question about the AC200. I set the time, but it never seems to. Yeah, something's up with that time, man. I don't know if it's whenever the battery dies, it resets. I would just not worry about setting the time. I personally haven't set the time in any of those units. It is kind of annoying that it's at the top of the screen, the date and the time. So, interesting question. I have noticed I set it once and then I think it hit 0% and it reset. So, good point there. I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker at all, but I think the AC200 Max and the AC300, AC500, they all have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connectivity, and I think they do a little bit better job keeping that straight. So, Mark Bottoms, and you get the charge enhancer for free. I would not say I got it for free because I actually bought the charging enhancer. Blue Yeti did not send out the charging enhancer. I actually bought that. So it was $199 for that video. Plus the $600 worth of solar panels that I bought. So that was actually an $800 video, the charging enhancer with the 3 new POW solar panels. Obviously, I'm going to use them. But yeah, the kickback from that video, I've gotten like 10 bucks on that video. So YouTube doesn't pay that much, unfortunately. I wish it was more. I make more money through my affiliate sales, that's why I put the affiliate links in my videos, because YouTube doesn't pay much. And the only way that I can keep this going and trying to make it worth my time is to get a little bit of kickback on those affiliate sales. Just be aware, on Amazon, most of my affiliate sales are 1%. That means if I sell a $20 product, I get 20 cents for that sale. I mean, it's something, but just be aware, we're not making tons of money off these affiliate sales. You have to really sell tons and tons and tons. But I thought I did make it clear that in that video I did purchase the charging enhancer. Unless you're saying you're talking about a sale. I may be misreading this comment. So, sorry if I read the comment wrong, Mark. You're not late, you're just on time. Okay, we're going to jump down to the bottom here. I went with IceCo and spent the money to get what I hoped would be the best in my semi with abundant vibration, poor highways, and road trip. Okay, good. I'm glad it's surviving. I've heard really good experiences with environments with vibration, and you know, that's good. You'll have to give us an update down the road. Okay, Joe entered. Awesome. Good to know. Mr. Repo entered. Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining the stream, though. It's been a while. I haven't seen... well, I don't know. You may have joined the last stream. It's just been a long time. I think my last stream was in... What? I'm going to say in April? What's the green power station in the background? Okay. So the green power station in the background, I might as well talk about this now. This is the Ace Volt 700. My video for that will be coming out on November 4th. And basically, it's a 700 watt hour, 700 watt device. Wireless charging, LFP, USB-C 100 watts. It's not bidirectional. So anyway, it's a decent device. I wanted to do a budget device. Right now, it's on sale for $550. So it does come in at a decent price. 700 watt hours, $550. I'll give the other information to you in the review video, but it has done, I will tell you, I have gotten 89% of the rated capacity on both tests, which is very good. So pretty decent output on that power station. So I think it would be a pretty decent camping unit, really good unit to run a 12 volt compressor fridge, or, you know, small devices like that. So anyway, you guys will have to see that. There's some very interesting things about the Ace Volt. Not like bad things, but the way it parallels to some other power stations. I'll mention that in the review video. Foxfire Pony tested the Anchor 555. I purchased the Anchor 555. I have not tested it yet, but I'm going to be doing a comparison video on that later. What did you think about it? Throw a different comment in here. Let me know. It's not a huge issue, but it's odd that it's a battery that's charged but still can't keep. Did I miss a previous comment, Justin? Oh, the time. Yeah, we were talking about the power station time. Yeah, it is interesting. What I mean is you get the charging enhancer with the expansion battery. Okay, I'm so sorry, Mark. I'm so sorry if I took that a little bit wrong, because sometimes people say, you get free products all the time. So I'll let you guys know, I would not say the products I get are free because I put 40 to 80 hours into these review videos, right? So sometimes I'm a little sensitive to that. I apologize. So yes, Mark, it's a great deal, meaning you do get the free charging enhancer with the Halloween sale. So thank you for bringing that up. Thanks, Zigzag. I always appreciate those affiliate sales. Usually with the power stations, I get a little bit better commission rate. It's like 3 to 5% sometimes. So it's so awesome if you guys use those affiliate codes, because that allows me to keep doing purchasing and allowing me to put more money back into my YouTube. Most of the money, I mean, I treat YouTube as a business. I'm a business owner. I have a business license, and basically it allows me to have income so I can spend to get new product. And some of the product, okay, so one of the products, let me just go ahead and grab it really quick. So this product right here, this is a brand new solar charge controller that I just bought. I'm going to be doing a 2,000 watt cart build for like a portable, expandable DIY power station. It's going to be coming out in a couple weeks. Maybe a month, I don't know the exact date. But this is the charge controller I decided to use with this. Now what's really cool about this charge controller is it accepts up to 150 volts input. So it's, you know, similar to a large Blue Eddy or EcoFlow power station, 150 volts DC input, voltage open circuit. It is a 40 amp controller, and it does around, for a 12 volt system, it'll charge around 600 watts. For a 24 volt system, it'll charge over 1,000 watts. So very good display on these units. This is, anyway, I'll have this in there, but EPEVER are great solar charge controllers. Oh gosh, I got a cough. I got to turn off my mic. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I have not opened this yet, by the way. I'm going to open it right now. This just came today, so it's like Christmas. Brand new packaging. Okay, so this is the control. This is a charge controller. Anyway, if you guys are looking for a really good kind of budget charge controller, you can go with the Victron and spend $350, or you can go with an Epever that shows you really good information on the display. Very good heat sink on the back. I mean, this thing is, it's hefty, right? You can get a remote display for it to, you know, put it out somewhere. And these are completely programmable. You can set all the charging settings in this. So just FYI, very good middle ground charge controller, Epever. I really like this brand. I've had really good experience with them. You guys know Jeff, my father-in-law. He has many of these. And so do my brother-in-laws because he kind of helped him out. So anyway, if you're looking for a decent charge controller, Epever is always a good brand. Okay. I wish you the best of luck. Thanks for entering. Once again, I apologize, Mark. Thanks for entering, guys. Sandy Rose, Keith, I wish you guys the best. Okay, so let's change gears here a little bit. Let me go through some of the chat really quick. Carrie, yeah, me and Carrie have been emailing back and forth a bunch about his AC500 setup. He has a good setup here. AC300. AC300, 6 360 watt panels. Yeah, he's been having good luck with his. Thanks, Mark, for accepting my apology. Joe Tyson, Broad and Ice Code JP40 during the Kickstarter campaign, besides a dent in the corner of the steel band. Oh no, you got it. Okay, yeah, so that metal outside, yep, that is probably one of the downsides is it can get dented. Yeah, I'm trying to go back to my roots, Chad. I'm trying to get some DIY stuff back in here. I don't want to be just a product review channel. That's why I've been cutting back on a lot of the review content. You guys aren't going to quite get that. I'm still, my list of videos for reviews has gone from 15 down to like 6. So I'm almost there. And as I move forward, I'm going to have more of a balanced content on the channel. At least that's my goal. A lot of DIY stuff, a lot of educational stuff, a lot of just general videos. I don't want to just be a review channel. Reviews are great, but they're not that fun. Like I have fun testing it, but it's really stressful to put those review videos together because, man, my voice. Because those videos, I don't know, there's just a lot of content to put in those videos. My review videos are there's so many tests that I run. Kerry Rogers, you have 6 solar panels? I'm curious because I have 2 Blue Eddy 350 watt. Yeah, the AC300 and AC500 can accept a ton of solar input. They have 2 charge controllers. If you look at my review videos, the AC300, AC500, I think I go pretty in-depth into the solar charge controller setup on those. Hey, Marianne, thanks for joining. So glad that you could join the live. I'm glad that you got the notification and that you saw it. Okay, Sweet Bear, this is a great question. Advantages to Bluetooth on a power station. So, a power station, the newer power stations, if they have a smart app, there's 2 ways to connect usually. Bluetooth connection is a local connection from your phone directly to the unit, so you do not have to have an internet connection. I prefer Bluetooth because it's more private. You're not out on the internet. And it also works in rural areas where the internet isn't available. So that's Bluetooth. And it connects through the app as long as you have Bluetooth on your phone, they can connect. Now, the other way to connect is via Wi-Fi. You go into the app, you put your Wi-Fi information in, then it sends it to the power station, and the power station actually connects to your Wi-Fi network, just like a smart, like an Alexa or a Bluetooth, or you have all these smart things in your house that you can connect to your Wi-Fi. It's just like that. The benefit to that is that you can actually connect to the power station and see what's going on when you are outside your home. One of the great ways that I do this is with my AC500 setup. Let me go ahead and show you guys. I've updated my AC500 setup here. Give you guys an update really quick on this. Okay, so this is my AC500. I bought a second B300S battery for the Kickstarter. So I purchased that bottom battery. The second battery is what came with the review unit. And the third battery, which is not connected up, unfortunately, I do not have the adapter cable yet. That is a B300 from my AC300. So I have 3 batteries. I can only use 2 of them right now. I will tell you, going to a second battery on my AC500 has been night and day difference. It almost runs 24/7 without me touching it with the 2 batteries. I am really excited for the third battery to get here, or the third battery cable. To hook a B300 battery up to the AC500, you need a special cable for that. So that would allow me. But I have this, if anybody's not familiar with this, I have this connected to my transfer switch, and I'm running 5 circuits almost all the time. Now, on days when I have a lot of clouds, like this last week we had some snowstorms and some rainstorms, I actually had to turn off the transfer switch and run off wall power. I just hate doing it, but I had to do it because I had no solar. So it's just what happens sometimes. That was like 3 days of clouds. But anyway, let me go back to her question. The reason Wi-Fi is decent is because you can connect and see what the power station is doing when I'm at work or if I'm traveling or whatever, and I can turn on and off the outputs and so forth. So I was at work today. The battery was down to like 30% in the morning because we've had clouds for like the last 3 days. Today was a sunny day. So it was at 30% in the morning, and I checked in on it, and I got it all the way up to about 89% by the end of the day, just because I wasn't there to manage the solar panels as well as I usually do. And I was charging many other power stations off of it. I had my wife plugging in power stations while I was at work. She's awesome. She does that while I'm at work. So that is the benefit to Wi-Fi. Now, I like when you have a power station that has both, so that you can choose, oh, I want to be private. I don't want all this being out on the internet, so I'm just going to do Bluetooth. So it's nice when they come with both. So hopefully that answers your question, Sweet Bear. Hey, Jeff. Jeff L is my father-in-law, guys. So if you ever see him commenting, that's him. And the display, he's clarifying the display on that charge controller. It's the XDS2 3-line display. So it's the updated display. They're the previous EPEVER that are a little bit off-white. They're like an off-white dark blue. They only have 2 lines of display. The newer XDS2 3-line displays are on the white and lighter blue solar charge controllers, and he's clarifying that. So make sure that's the version you go with. I wouldn't say I'm doing a review on it. I'm putting it into a system. I guess I could do a review on it, but I've just had very good experiences with EPEVER over the past. So me and Jeff have probably tested 5 or 6 of them, and they've always worked really well. 70 amps. Yeah, when you get up to 70 amps, that's a pretty big charge controller. That means it's going to have some pretty large terminals to handle 70 amps coming out to that battery. So what a lot of people end up doing is they'll just put 2 in parallel. So you'll have, and what works with that is you can have 2 solar arrays, and because they're separate, if one gets shaded, you still get power in the other one. So 2 charge controllers, 2 solar arrays, they connect to the same battery. It charges the battery. It's just they charge it at the same time. You can you could set up 7 charge controllers going into the same battery system if you really wanted to. You do not have to have just one charge controller. Basically, you can stack charge controllers in parallel and charge the battery faster. Or your battery setup. I mean, you don't want to put tons of charge controllers on a small battery. If you have a large battery array, then that would be a benefit, having multiple charge controllers. Awesome, that's good. Let me know how it goes. The 30 amp version, that's decent. Those come in right at $100. That's really good. It's interesting that MPPT charge controllers have higher voltage and high amps, being in the power station side of things. Yes, it's because when you buy a charge controller, it's kind of like more of a DIY. So they're aware that you're going to be having to buy larger gauge wire and such. So it's just how it is. And you got to remember, a lot of these power stations have higher voltages. They're 48 volt batteries. So most people, I don't know. Nowadays, a lot of people building DIY systems are going to those 48 volt batteries, the EG4 batteries. So it's interesting. The trend is going from 12 volt batteries all the way up to 48 volt batteries. I think a lot of DIY setups are using those server rack 48 volt batteries, and I hope to have one of those systems someday. It would be sweet to have a stack of those 48 volt batteries. Patrick, good to hear that that the videos helped you. Thank you so much. I've had an EPEVER 80 amp in constant use for 4 years. That is awesome. That is excellent feedback, Jay. So thank you. Yeah, that must be one of their silver looking models, right? That they're basically just like a giant heat sink. There's a little known C-cup compressor fridge blizzard box. Even ever so often it goes on sale at Costco. Okay, cool. Retails are $1,000. Listed below 500. Nice. I'll have to keep an eye out for that one. That's awesome. Glad to hear it has a C-cup compressor. Seems like a bit much to have that much. Am I missing something with the amps with an MPP charge controller? So you got to remember, these batteries can charge at up to 100 amps, 50 amps. A 100 amp hour battery can charge at 100 amps. It's recommended to charge at 50 amps. You got to remember that all that is happening on the inside, behind the scenes on power stations. When you charge your power station from the wall at 800 watts, it's putting out near 100 amps to that battery. So just be aware. I mean, it kind of depends on the voltage, right? So if it's 48 volt battery, not so much. 24 volt battery, the amps are higher. So you got to remember, these power stations deal with lots of amps as well. It's just behind the scenes, and it just shows a watts number. You're not getting the volts and the amps mixed in. So when you have a DIY system, you're dealing with all of that, but now you just know what the amps are. So as you get more familiar with charging like your standalone 100 amp hour batteries, if you want to charge that thing just as fast as a power station, you got to put 50 to 70 to 80 amps in it. And you have to have the right wiring for that, which is you have to have some large wires. How do we enter? There is a form that I've filled out. I guess it'd be a good time to throw it in. Let me go ahead and throw the form in. I'll throw the form in the chat one more time. So this is the Google form that you need to fill out. I just posted it in the chat. Click on that link, fill out the Google form, and that will enter you into the power station giveaway. I bought a PS70 as the perk with the purchase of the AC500B300S. PF57 was only $99. I saw that. Yeah, I had no idea where those came from. Very curious about those power stations. I'm pretty sure they're lithium-ion batteries too. I don't think they're LFPs. EPEVER is definitely their own charge controller company. I would say I personally like the EPEVERs a little bit more than Renogy because the Renogy doesn't give you all the information on the screen. I don't know who makes Renogy's charge controllers, but I I've had experience with some cheap Renogy charge controllers, and I haven't been a super huge fan, but I know that they do make some better charge controllers, and I'm sure they offer a lot of the same features. So I don't think they're affiliated together at all. Epever, Renogy, Ridge Solar. Just clarified that. No regrets. So you should have that. John Tate. Look at the EG4 3 kilowatt inverter, 500. Yeah. Yeah, the all-in-ones are excellent. And if I was going to make my own DIY huge power station like the AC500 basically, I would basically use an all-in-one. I think I'd go bigger than, I think I'd go with a 5 kilowatt unit personally, so I could run a lot more of my house. But yeah, $749 for an all-in-one that has the MPPT charge controllers in it, the AC charging in it, the battery monitoring, and the inverter. These all-in-one units, guys, are huge deals. They're amazing deals if you're going with the all-in-one system that's DIY. Which those things could charge a power station? Yep, they just it doesn't work well to charge a power station. Basically, well, that's a good point. I have a quick little tip that I want to give you guys about charging power stations faster off of basically 12 volts. Because let's say this right here, right? This power station right here, you're going to charge this off 12 volts. It's only going to charge at 100 watts. Same with the EB3A. This will only charge at 100 watts. The reason that you have these low charging amounts for a power station is because they expect you to plug it into your car, and most 12-volt cigarette plugs are rated at 100 watts, 120 watts. You'll get lucky if some of them are rated at 180 watts. Now, you got to remember, 100 watts at 12 volts is basically what you're getting out of a car, is going to be right around 10 amps. And they're usually fused around 15 amps or so. Some of them go up to 20. So that's why you don't get fast charging on these power stations. They have an amperage input limit to 8 amps, sometimes 12 amps, but most of the time it's 8 amps. So how do you get more than 100 watts charging input into your power station when you're using 12 volts? Now, I had a video a long time ago that I put out, and a lot of people haven't seen this. It's upside down. This is called a voltage converter. This takes 12 volts and boosts it up to 24 volts. And so what this allows you to do is if you connect the input side right here to your vehicle, so to your 12 volt system, either because this pulls over 100 watts, you cannot use this in a cigarette plug. You have to direct connect up to your battery. So you could use alligator clamps. You could you direct line from your battery to wherever you want in your car. But anyway, you hook this directly up to your battery, and it takes the 12 volts of your battery and changes it to 24 volts. Now, what that allows you to do is charge these power stations like you were maxing out with 24 volts. So that allows you to get almost 200 watts charging input on a small power station. Now, that means that instead of getting 100 watts, you can get 200 watts while you're driving, and you can keep these power stations completely full on a road trip, or if you wanted to start your car up while camping because you don't have solar, this guy allows you to charge it much faster. So I have a full video about this. It's an EB3A, or it's the EB55 and EB70 charging tip video. If you guys want to see a direct video about how one of these works, and just a quick video about how to use this and get double the charging input off your car, let me know and I can make a new video. But I have a really decent video about that. Let me just bring it up really quick. Let me just pull it. Get to my YouTubes. Let me throw over to the second screen. So it's going to be way back here, guys. This is an old video. I have so many videos. I have almost 150 now. It's back when the EB55. It's going to be up. I missed it. Let me see. Okay. It's right around here. This one. And of course, it's going to try doing. I just wanted the thumbnail. Hopefully, you guys can see the thumbnail here. So this one right here, Blue Eddy, EB55 and EB70 charging tips and tricks. That is the video that goes over this voltage converter. So I just thought that would be super helpful to some people that are in the vehicle and want to charge faster. I mean, you can charge your little power station. Most little power stations, because this is 24 volts output, most power stations go up to around 26, 28, 30 volts. Because this puts out 24 volts, you can charge your power station at near 200 watts off your car battery, which is double the speed. In fact, the EB3A can only charge at 160 watts off of solar panels. So if you plug this into your car using that voltage converter, you can actually charge this faster than you can with solar panels. So pretty cool. This also works for large power stations. If you wanted to charge your EB55 or your EB, sorry, I'm thinking EB right now. AC200, your AC200 Max, AC200P, this will boost it up to 24 volts, so then you can charge those larger power stations at 200 watts as well instead of 100 watts. So it just gives you a lot more usable power. Okay, let's keep moving down the comments. Okay, guys, remember, if you are watching the live stream, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love to break the 100 thumbs up mark. Okay, okay, Chad Jones, your YouTube name is called Chad Jones. A lot of people will have like a anonymous YouTube name, but I would need to know your name. But in your case, Chad Jones is your new YouTube name. But like my name is Jason, but my YouTube name is Jasonoid, solar panels, batteries, and more. So sometimes you need to clarify there. So thank you for that question. Sandy Rose, I don't know how to pin a link at the top. I don't think I can pin one, can I? Let me try this. Okay, cool. Sweet. Sandy Rose is awesome. I pinned it to the top. Okay. Okay, Garrett has a question here. So here's something of our interest. Recently, our AC200 Max would not charge on AC grid power. I put a kilowatt meter power feed, and I found the grid power was, oh my gosh, 130 volts? What the crap? Your AC, your power company is pushing 130 volts. That's considered like a power surge. Yeah, you may be having an issue there. Is it still doing it? Like that's consistent? You need to call your power company because a lot of devices will stop at the 125 volt mark and it'll damage. So yeah, 130 volts, that's definitely over the AC input on the power station. If you look on the back, a lot of the charging input for these large power stations is 125 volts and less. So very interesting there. Definitely an issue with your power company. Okay, so this is good feedback from Jose. I have 10 solar stations or power stations that are lithium that didn't last me more than a year. You must really be using these, Jose. It's crazy. The lithium phosphate are still going strong. So good, you are getting the actual longer life out of LFP power station. That's good. That's funny. The blue Yeti, as in a Yeti cooler. Thanks, Farside. Appreciate you joining the live stream. Yeah, I totally agree. Ask Guy Solar. Pushing 130. Okay. I'm going to fly down here a little bit, catching up to some of these comments. Mail Tracker. I just received the Pecron 2000. I want to install a switch to connect to my panel to run my gas furnace. Any run their furnace off a power station. Plan on getting expansion battery once available. So I had some questions about this, guys. Now, what's interesting is I have a... I'll be right back. It's a quick grab. I'm just going to go grab it. Okay, luckily I'm on a wireless audio system, so you guys can at least still hear me. Okay. Okay, so one of these cheapo power thingies, this will tell you if you have open ground or not. So a lot of times a furnace needs ground to turn on, and a lot of other electronics do. Let me see what this shows. This should show us that this is going to have an open ground. Okay, right here. Perfect. This is a good example. Okay, so that notification in the middle means there's an open ground on this power station, which makes sense. This is just, there's nothing grounded in this guy. It's not grounded. Okay, so when you get to one of these and you plug it in your power station, it's not gonna show ground, right? So you have to make sure your furnace may run just fine off of an open ground system. Some smarter furnaces, some newer furnaces or whatever need a ground. So what's interesting is my transfer switch, because it ties into my house and the ground connects to my house, when I plug this into my AC 500, it does not show open ground and the ground is connected to my house. So that means if you were running a transfer switch with your power station, the furnace should work. But with the power station just sitting there by itself, it might not work. The other thing you have to think about is even with a gas generator, you might have to test the AC output of your gas generator if you're trying to run stuff, because maybe your furnace won't even run if it has an open ground on the gas generator. Now, you could potentially ground the generator. What's interesting is the Vigor Pool had a grounding screw to ground it. That was really cool. I don't know how I'd apply that, but go out and get yourself one of these. This is a super cheap Harbor Freight model. You can see that it just gives you a bunch of light scenarios to tell you the issue of the power that you're plugging the outlet into. When I bought my house, I plugged this into every single outlet in the house to see if I had any wiring issues, and I found some outlets that weren't wired correctly by using this, and then I was able to rewire the outlet to make it safe. So I definitely recommend you purchase one of these. I think they're called like a circuit analyzer, and all it is it just has the LED lights that light up. Basically, this will tell you if your power station has an open ground or not. Now, most power stations are going to have open ground unless you have it in a transfer switch setup that is tied into the ground in your main power, power panel. Do you plan to run your whole house off the AC 500 set by installing an auto transfer switch? I already run it off my house. 6 circuits. Transfer switch is just the 6 circuits. But yeah, I basically do that all the time. The problem is my batteries don't last as long if the sun's not shining. So hopefully with 3 batteries hooked up, it'll be okay. Oh, good to know. I had no idea. So that's another thing. You can put two names together that you have on the, that I recently, you talk to back and forth on these YouTube comments. It's amazing how much money you can spend on these power stations. It definitely takes a while to recuperate funds. My power bill monthly is only approximately $50, 2-bedroom, small home. So, I wouldn't say it's really recouping money. It's an emergency preparedness item. It's a independence type of thing to get independent from the government or from the grid. A lot of people, they have frequent power outages, so it's a way to still have power when the power goes out. And it's fun. I personally think it's super fun. I love testing this stuff out. I love the power stations. I love solar. All that stuff is fun to me, so it's like a hobby. If you treat it like a hobby, and there are people out there that spend thousands of dollars a month on a hobby. So you just have to put it in perspective. So if you treat it as a hobby, but also as an emergency preparedness thing, it's not that much money. Do you know a good source for a battery that goes to change more? Oh, okay. The battery itself, the change more TW45. Yeah, that's basically the same thing as the New Power and the, or not New Power, New Air and the Bodega. Yeah, the battery should be on their website. My battery exploded. I don't know if you guys saw that video. The exploding battery video. This one right here. The lithium fridge battery explodes. YouTube has not recommended that video. I thought that was going to be $1 million or million view video, but it never got recommended out. It was kind of stupid. But yeah, just there are a bunch of different batteries. They're all the same exact battery. Change More, Bodega, New Air, lots of Bouge RV I think has one. They're all the same. Just don't charge the battery directly with solar. That's what I did, and it blew up. Okay. Oh, Kevin uses an amp ever. Nice. 12 years ago. Yeah, you mentioned you have that portable system that you move around. Okay. Am I wrong with the 70 amps? Well, so it depends what the 315 watt panels, they'd have to be putting out, 23 watts or 23 amps or so, and they'd have to be wired together in parallel to put out the 70 amps. So there's a lot of different wiring combinations you can do with solar to get amps or higher volts or lower volts and higher amps, and it's a little complicated. Thank you, sir, from Milwaukee. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the $5. Thank you. If you ever have a question or anything, let me know. I'll keep an eye out for your comments. A lot of times, what they do on the YouTube channels that have a billion comments at a time on this, they'll throw the money up there so that they read their comment and answer their question. Okay, I'm going through some of these. I got to fly through some of these comments and get a little bit behind. Just keep an eye out. Just look if there's anything super important here. PM, the original video you made with that boost adapter was really well done. Folks need to watch it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that EB55 and EB70 charging tips was a really cool video. And I have the DIY expansion video. Why am I still holding this thing? The DIY expansion video, battery video that I made for a power station, that's kind of the same principle except for it boosted the voltage up even higher. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds like I'll probably make one. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, you could use the higher output of a large power station. Now, what's really cool is the 25 amp output and the 30 amp output of the Blue Eddy power stations. They're the only power stations out there that do this. So just be aware, if you want to put high output power to a small power station, you could use one of these with that. This pulls around 20 amps. So it's just too much power for your 12-volt cigarette plug. But it's fine for a power supply that can handle it. Far side, there's a lot of 20 amp chargers. If you go to Power Queen's website, I'll talk about Power Queen really quick. They also mentioned that they had a sale going on. So let's bring them into this. If I could get to it. Sorry, I'm like looking at my other screen here. So let's go over here, open up this. So let's go to Power Queen. So they're also doing a Halloween sale. So Power Queen, they make, I'd say the batteries that they make are the upper level of budget batteries. They put a good BMS in there. The wiring's decent. They do not have low temperature charging protection, at least their older version. They do have a new battery that's coming out that has heaters and low temperature charging protection in it. But anyway, look at some of these prices, guys. This 100 amp hour battery, $299. That is like crazy. You're getting 1200 watt hour, 1280 watt hours. I pulled a full capacity out of these batteries. So 1280 watt hours of capacity for a lithium iron phosphate, 2 2,000 cycles guaranteed, more like 4,000, how you treat it, for $300. That is an excellent price. So if anybody's looking for, anything with Power Queen, I would definitely recommend their 100 amp hour batteries. I personally tested the 200 amp hour battery, which is this one. This one's a little bit more money. Comes in at $619 because it's just a huge battery. It has a 200 amp BMS. This is what you'd want to use for a 2,000 watt inverter. The 100 amp hour batteries are kind of limited to about around 1,200 watts. So just be aware, 1,000 watt inverter, or you purchase 2 of these, put them together in parallel, and you can run a 2,000 watt inverter. So there you go. Just wanted to show you guys that they have a sale going on right now. They have quite a few products that are on sale. So yeah, this is their premium. I think this is the one that's self-heating. Yeah, I'm not sure. This might be the Bluetooth version. I'm trying to see here. Anyway, they do have a Bluetooth version coming out. This one has low temperature charging protection, which is nice. I love how they call that premium when they add low temperature charging protection. Basically, every battery should have low temperature charging protection. That's lithium iron phosphate. Okay, enough of that. Back to the webcam. Let's see what you guys are all talking about here. MC, he has a question about building a sub $600 system that's DIY. So DIY makes more sense for a larger system, at least for cost, right? If you want a extremely affordable large system, you want to go DIY. That's where you're going to make, get the most money out of it. The small systems, power stations really have a really good bang for the buck. You could get a 600 watt system for under $500, and that has the charge controller, the AC charge, so it has the solar charging, the AC charging, the car charging, and the battery and inverter and DC output, all that, all in one unit. Plus sometimes you get USB, excuse me guys, sometimes you get USB-C, sometimes you get wireless charging. So small systems, kind of probably leaning more to power stations. Big systems, if you're going to big daddy systems, you'd probably want to go to a DIY. If you're going, for expandable and replacement, ease of replacement, things like that. $97 likes, 3 more to 100. What are we at? We're at 104 likes now. I'm behind on these comments. Yeah, neutral ground bond. Yes. So there is a way. And I did. So I had someone reach out. I don't know. I can't remember their name, but they had a question about running a power station, running their furnace, and they had this issue. And that's when I looked up the grounding issue. There is a way where you can. So if there's multiple outlets on your generator or multiple outlets on your power station, you can bond the neutral and the ground together, and that will get past the issue. There are some YouTube videos on it, so just make sure you do it. And it's electricity, guys. You're going to be messing with stuff, so just be aware there are risks involved anytime you're doing that type of stuff. Let's see. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Mentioning these bonding the neutral and ground. Yep. Yeah, John. They may not recommend it just because they don't want you kind of doing your own electrical stuff. They don't want to be over, hey, you just did something wrong and you're going to, now you just electrocuted yourself. That's probably their stand right there. Not sure it's a major problem, but, hard to know. Totally agree, Mark. It's a hobby with emergency benefits. Totally. People can have a hobby of golfing and they spend, $5,000 on their golf clubs. I guess you could use those for home defense, your golf clubs. beat someone if they break into your house. But at least with my hobby, I get power when the power goes out. It looks like Ask Ive, if you look at Jeff's comments here, he's asking some of your he's answering some of your questions about those amps. That just shows how far behind I am on these comments. I don't think you need to discharge it all the way. I think the batteries do a really good job telling what the actual percentage is at. Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend charging them all the way down. Yeah, Gary, that's not an issue with that's an issue with the grid. I'm surprised you haven't seen other appliances in your house fry up. Danny, thank you so much. $5. Thank you. I really appreciate that chat donation. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Better product, Vigorpool 1200 or EcoFlow Delta 2? Great question. I love the Vigorpool. I think that unit is very cool. We got 99% of the advertised capacity. It's super quiet. The decibels were only at 45 watts, or sorry, 45 decibels. You know what, guys? I really like the Vigorpool. I'm not sure about their customer support. They're a smaller company for sure. But obviously it has a smaller inverter, so you would have to double it up to get the full 2,400 watts, so you'd have to purchase 2 of those. But for a camping unit, or running just a basic fridge, try to get 24 hours out of a fridge during a power outage. You could get longer than that if you have solar panels coming in. What's your use case, Danny? Let me know what your use case is. I'm kind of curious. Carrie Rogers, she has a Power Queen battery and the 20 amp charger. I like their 20 amp charger. It's plug and play. It just works. I like it a lot. $280. Good cost, man. That's awesome. $280. Yeah, thanks. More 130 volt stuff. Another clue to pursue voltage was the beer in the barn refrigerator was freezing. Yeah, your compressor's running super fast. Yeah, interesting, guys. Interesting. Wireless mic do I use? Oh, this one here. That was weird. It moved. Patrick, I use the DJI mic. Excellent mic. So yeah, it uses 2 mics, or there's 2 wireless mics that communicate with 1 head unit. So now you can see I'm just completely wired. I have it right here, so I can walk around and grab some stuff. Okay, home first, then for camping. Yeah, I think it's ideal for camping. I'd say it's like one of the perfect power stations for camping, especially because the fans are quiet. So if it's running fans while you're sleeping, you're not going to hear them. Delta 2, the fans do get pretty loud. I wouldn't say it's as bad as Hobotech made it sound, but the fans do get loud. So just be aware, the Delta 2 does have louder fans. However, it can I think they're going to push a firmware update to make those spin a little less RPMs. Which the Vigorpool had additional add-on batteries that combined the ability to combine 2 main units would be very cool. Yeah, I think that would be cool is if you could do either or. Purchase an expansion battery if you want, or just purchase another unit and parallel them together. I personally would, for camping, I think I'd just go with a second unit. But, yeah, let's see. Yeah, so Ask Ive's going to check out your comments. Let's see. Dewey Watson, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Good luck for entering. It's just going to be completely random. I'm just going to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and boom. That's how I'm going to select it. Did the BMS and batteries have Bluetooth, or is it separate piece when doing a DIY project? There are a lot more batteries now that have Bluetooth built in. You can also have a charge controller that has Bluetooth. There's a lot of different ways to have Bluetooth these days. You can have shunts that have Bluetooth in them. So you don't necessarily have to have a battery with Bluetooth. But they do have quite a few batteries now that have Bluetooth built in, so it's kind of cool. I love that. Someone was mentioning their frozen beers unacceptable. Yeah, that was Keith. Yeah. Hopefully your beer cans didn't explode from being, frozen in the freezer. Okay, let me bring out some other content really quick. Let me put these away. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek about this right here. Oh, this is a 100 amp hour battery. Oh my gosh. Okay, this thing is super cool. So, lithium iron phosphate. This thing weighs a lot, man. Okay, lithium iron phosphate. You got your main battery terminals, positive, negative. But look at this thing they built into it. This is the Dr. Prepare. They call it the Dr. Prepare Max, I believe. It's not out yet. Hopefully they don't mind me talking about this thing. It's a little early. Okay, this unit comes out. Now I'm super excited about this because there are people out there that want the cheapness of a battery, yet the convenience of a power station. This is kind of a perfect mismatch or a match of DIY and power station. The Max little thing plugs in via those Anderson power pole connections there. And then what you get is you get a 12 volt socket for powering whatever you want, 12 volt. And then you get all these other things. You get USB-C, get a little closer. USB-C, oh man, backwards. You get a 5521 connection, and you get a charging port. So, what do you guys think of that? It is cool. I think it's just so cool. If someone's wanting to go camping, but they only need DC power output, that's not backwards here. Hold on a second. If you are looking for DC power output, but you want just an easy connection to a fridge or to charge your phone, boom, 1,280 watt hours of capacity in a lithium iron phosphate battery. This battery does have low temperature charging protection, so thumbs up there. Yes, super cool. The other thing that's benefit is the charging input accepts 12 volt solar panels. So you can just connect your 12 volt solar panels up to this thing. It is so cool. Anyway, I'm going to have a review video for this. I think it's November 18th. So I still have to do a capacity test on this, but way cool, guys. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. Joe Tyson, I need that Dr. Prepare for powering my ham radio. Hey, that might be a perfect way to do it. We'll have to see if there's any interference in that. But I guess you could just hook straight to the positive and negative if you needed to. Grid tie system. Sign me up for that Dr. Prepare. That's pretty awesome if it can do series. I'm not sure. I was looking at the specs. I think they're meant for parallel connections. And the only reason they're meant for parallel is because when you connect them up in series, I think that module can't handle the higher input voltage. So I think that battery is specifically designed for parallel. However, their other 100 amp hour battery, the other one I reviewed that was awesome, had low temperature charging protection. Dr. Prepare is stepping it up on their batteries, by the way, guys. They're some of the most affordable, yet they have low temperature charging protection. So if you're looking for a product with low temperature charging protection, it's kind of the only option right now. Power Queen, I say, is on the same level, except for they don't have low temperature charging protection. So, I think they only can go in parallel. I'll clarify that in the review video. Sneak peek of an unreleased product. They're not watching this video. Dr. Prepare doesn't watch my live streams. Come on. That's cool. Give that away instead. Yeah, right. I haven't reviewed it yet, guys. Come on. Pricing, I think, is going to be somewhere around the $400 mark. I can't remember. I think it's a very interesting niche, right? You got all these overland people that are like, you want a second battery. Well, this is kind of what you're looking for. You have the 12-volt output, USB ports, 5521. It has a built-in charge controller. It's not super fast, but it does have a charge controller. Anyway, yeah, pretty cool. JW's interested in it. Yeah, it is very interesting. I agree, it's interesting. That's the thing I said. Yes, I was like, when they reached out to send that out, I was like, guys, this is a really cool product. Like, this is kind of what I've been wanting to do, is find a way. Like, so this is what I've also thought about. I thought about like getting a 3D printer and designing a cap that goes on the top of one of these batteries that you could kind of build your own DIY DC output power station, where you could have like a micro charge controller and DC output and all this other stuff with fuses and all that stuff. And that would just kind of fit on the top of the battery. Now, if someone steals that idea, that's cool. Someone steal it, make it, and let me know. But this Dr. Prepare Max is kind of like, it's kind of the same thing that I was wanting to do. I think I'd like a little bit higher spec. You'll have to see what the specs are a little bit later, but yeah. If nukes aren't flying, that looks great. Totally agree, man. Totally agree. Okay, I have a question about the 12 volt, 24 volt system. Will a 200 amp hour battery, 12 volt system run a load for the same amount of time as a 100 amp hour battery, 24 volt system? Basically, so your inverter, you have to have either a 12 volt inverter or a 24 volt inverter for each of those systems. I think you'll probably get a little bit more efficiency and runtime out of the 24 volt system because you're getting less amperage running through all those wires and stuff. So technically, I think the 24 volt system is going to be a little bit more efficient, and you'll get a little bit better run times and things like that. It's also cheaper because you could use less wire gauge. So that's my opinion on it. I think that would be. Let me know what you guys think about that. Your thoughts about if that's right or not. But I personally haven't tested each system, but from my opinion, I think that would be the case. Would be interested in the vampiric draw of the mini power station on top. Should be able to test that with my meter. Yeah, I guess what I could do is I could put a Anderson extension to that meter itself. And so it could just be floating here with the wire going to the battery. Yeah, good point, PM. Really appreciate you bringing that up. It's available on their website? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, there you go, guys. If you want it, $4.49. Now, I probably will have a discount code, so I don't know. You might want to wait for my discount code. Like I said, my video is going to be trying to get it out November 18th. So that's like 2 weeks from... It's like 3 weeks from now. Ask Ives, sticking around. Good to see you. Yeah, you have 2 of those Dr. Prepares, don't you? They sent you 200 amp hour batteries. How have you been using those? I'm curious how you've been using yours. Dr. Prepare, have good customer service. I haven't tested their customer service. I can't answer yes or no on that one. Sandy Rose, okay, first of all, I need to know if it's a he or she, Sandy Rose. I think you've told me before, but I don't want to offend you either way. So Sandy Rose is getting our like count up there, guys. We are at 111 likes. I'm at 110 on my screen. So maybe someone just gave me a downvote. That would not be cool. But please, give me a thumbs up if you guys haven't already thumbs up the video. Could I use a single EcoFlow 220 bifacial solar panel and charge the River 2 simultaneously with a splitter of some type? So 2 River 2s. Now, so basically, Satite Tech Adventures tried doing 1 solar panel, 2 power stations. I think he was able to get power into some of them. It kind of like will separate the load out. I wouldn't recommend it. I would just recommend buying a power station and solar panel for, per each one. I don't really like splitting solar panel stuff. I personally haven't tested that, so I'm not sure. Yeah, same power. Jeff was mentioning, yeah, it's the same power, but with efficiency involved, I'd be kind of curious. Could I use this? Could I use a single EcoFlow 220 to charge 2 River 2? Okay, so you did clarify there. Yeah. So I would say it might work, but I haven't tested it. You'll have to see. My recommendation would be use a solar panel per power station. Unless you already have the EcoFlow 220, you might as well try it. The EcoFlow is a very interesting panel. It puts out a ton of power, but the voltage at peak power was 15 volts. It was putting out, when I was testing last, 15 volts at 12.5 amps. So it was putting out a ton of amps. Can you set the battery to charge when it gets down to a certain... Can you set the battery to charge when it gets down to a certain percentage level? Which battery do you mean? Doesn't the Pukert curve only apply to lead acid batteries? I'm pretty sure that only applies to lead acid batteries. I can't remember. I remember reading something about that. I was interested. I read an article or something. Maybe look that up, because I think that only applies to lead acid batteries. I don't think that applies to lithium iron phosphate or just lithium batteries in general. A DIY 3D printed battery setup sounds awesome. Hey, if you got a 3D printer and you want to design it, I would put that out on my channel and all the people would buy it from you. See you later, Mark. Thanks for joining. Sweet, yeah. Zigzag's kind of on the same page. I think so too. And yeah, Joe, I think, was talking about, yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was applied just to the lead acid batteries. Jeff, Jeff, he agrees some IR losses, which is resistance, higher current. Yeah, I bet it wouldn't be that much of a difference, but I bet you would see some bit of difference. Maybe just a couple watts. I have the 3D printers, but not the battery yet, but it might be worth a try. I need to figure out the right products. I burned a small MPPT this week. Need to find better parts. So probably, my guess would be probably have the charger external, but I think it'd be really cool to have a top that can go right on the battery. And if you picked a really common battery size, like the Power Queen batteries, they're the same as the Chins, the Power Queen, the Ampere Time, they're all the same. So if you found a common size that had a way to go to 12 volt, maybe like Anderson Power Pole or XT60 or SAE, just an easier way to hook up to a battery, I think that would be really cool, because then you don't have to use alligator clips. You know, you could do whatever you want. It'd be cool. Let's hear it for the discount code. Yeah, it's usually 10 to 15%. What's the output limit on the 12 volt? The 12 volt socket is only like, it's continuous 7 amps or less. 7 to 10 amps, I believe. But remember, it's got the positive and negative lugs. You can pull 100 amps through the positive and negative lugs, but that small little guy does not put out a ton of power. So it's kind of perfect for just a little fridge or something like that. I don't think it draws power at all unless you turn it on. And it's off. Like right now it's off and the battery's sitting at full percentage. Hey Mark, awesome. Thanks for joining the live stream. Gregory's always looking for the future videos. He always wants a hint. Have you been listening to what we've been talking about? I'm pretty sure I've hinted a lot about the future videos that have been coming up. So we have the Ace Volt 700, which is that green mean machine behind me. I'm going to have a 2,000 watt power cart that I'm building. I have the Blue Eddy large 3 comparisons. So the Blue Eddy 200 AC, so the AC 200, the EB 200P, and the AC 200 Max. Mouthful. The 3 big 2,000 power stations. I'm going to do a comparison video of all 3 of those. I have the Anchor 555 that I'm going to be comparing to the Delta 2. So yeah, those are some videos that I have lined up. I also have that voltage drop video over how much voltage drop do you get over a 200-foot line versus a 10-foot line. So we're going to see how much voltage drop affects stuff. Hopefully that was good, helpful, Greg. 12 volt and 24 volt systems used for compatibility. 48, yeah. I agree. 48. If you're going to go with a DIY system that's large, go with the 48 volt server rack batteries. They have the built-in BMS. They have low temperature charging protection. Some of them even have heated batteries inside. I wouldn't even, I mean, if you're going with a small system, yeah, 12 volt battery or 2 batteries in series would be okay. But if you're going for big things, big systems, I'd stick to 48 volts. It's definitely the new standard, as what PM's talking about here. Chad Jones, it is the Ace Volt 700, Camp Power 700. If they have a USB-C input, you can charge one EcoFlow with solar and then USB-C charge the other one. Yeah. Daisy chaining them together. I chose that ID because when I came in YouTube in 2009, there were so many Sandras. I had to choose this name, so I'm definitely female. Thank you, Sandy Rose, for clarifying. Sandra, I'll remember that. I will try to remember that. But thank you so much for promoting the like button in these live streams. Yeah, there's no way to really hook 2 of them together, unfortunately. This is my hope. I'm hoping Blue Eddy already releases too many products. They release them so fast. Okay, so in the future, my goal would be that they put out a AC 200 that has UPS mode, internal charging, all the stuff that AC 300 and AC 500 have. But it's just a smaller unit that's expandable and has the ability to work with 220 or 240 volt. That would be really cool. Okay, good. Thanks for clarifying. I'm going to read up on that, Joe. Thank you for clarifying that it applies to all chemistries. So, interesting about the bifacial solar panel. In my tests, I tried reflecting a little bit, and I didn't see that much difference. And now what you have to think about is you already have sun coming in from the other side, the front. And then the back isn't a different set of solar panels. It's the same solar chip, but it just allows just a little bit of reflection to add to the power. There were, I think there's a guy, Johnny Weekends, no, Lee Ray Outdoors, I don't know. There's one of those YouTube channels that's kind of up and coming that's doing a lot of these same videos that I do. He tested his EcoFlow 220 watt bifacial solar panel with a ton of different reflections on the back, because it's bifacial. The max he could see difference was 5 watts. So it helps, but I don't think it's very much. So just be aware, the bifacial thing is cool, but I'm not sure it helps a ton. So Ask Ives using it. This is him using his 100 amp hour batteries. So he power drops into his power stations. Okay, cool. Sweet. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. That's funny. Okay. Will went on a rant about it only applying to lead acid batteries. I feel like that's where I read it. I don't know. I will find out. I'll do more research on it for sure. With that Dr. Prepare battery, you can mount in a vehicle with a battery isolator or even with cold weather protection. Is it still not good? No, that Dr. Prepare battery does have low temperature charging protection. It doesn't have heaters, but it does have low temperature charging protection. Yeah, that would be cool. I've thought about doing some viewer submissions. Kind of like, hey, submit your systems and we can talk about them in a live stream and maybe give some thoughts about it. I think that'd be really cool. I did think about that, and I'll put that on the list for a future review or a future live stream topic. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, it's so true. Thanks, Shelly. Appreciate you joining. Hey, MC, thanks for joining. Have a great Halloween. Okay, JB Maps, if you look at the pinned comment, you get in the giveaway by going to this link here. There's a Google sheet or Google form that you fill out. Once you fill out the form, you'll have a submission into winning the giveaway. See you later, Jeff. Thanks for joining. Looks like the East Coast guys are getting in the late hours. And it's been going for a little bit. The stream's been going for almost 2 hours. We'll probably go for a little bit longer. A little bit longer. The 12-volt limit is on the 10 amps through the standard lighter plug. Yes, that is correct. Thanks for clarifying that. Yes, the pinned comment is to enter. Your wife wants to quit watching solar videos. Yes, because it's addicting. It really is addicting. Thanks for clarifying that, Sandy Rose. Okay, so let's see. I have a UPS with a bad battery and an AGM battery from a car I sold. Have you ever hooked up something similar? Yeah, back in the olden days, there were a lot of kind of DIY power stations where someone would take an inverter or a UPS that had an inverter and they just hook a huge battery up to it. The only problem with those UPS systems are they are not meant to run for long periods of time. So usually they don't have proper wiring and they don't have cooling systems. So it's probably cheaper to buy an inverter and a battery than to go with a UPS backup system and put a big battery in it. I think that's what you're kind of trying to go with, right? From my understanding, those sine wave inverters are not meant to run for large loads for a long period of time. They're meant to run for 10 minutes and then they're done. Or 30 minutes and then they're done. So they're not meant to cool very well. So it could possibly overheat if you had a very large battery running a load. The other thing that I've seen is they are not very efficient. So they're not meant for long-term use. So, they don't care how long the inverter is going to run. They just say, hey, save your work and get out of there, type of thing. Okay, I can call you Sandy. Metal Tracker, thanks for joining. And yeah, hopefully, if you look up Open Ground on Furnace on forums online, you'll find a bunch of stuff about getting that. Hey, 121 likes. 123 likes right now, actually. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I think with Sitite here saying the bifacial panel, yes, snow would be the absolute best case condition. Let me show you guys this, actually. So I have on my solar, I got to show you guys this. Okay, the temperature's dropped. Look at this. I'm usually getting around 1,400 watts. On a really clear day, I was getting 1,739 watts out of my system. Now, if you look at this, so this part right here, this is my roof-mounted system. That is rated for 975 watts. I was getting 950 watts. I was almost pulling rated power. That's almost impossible, guys. Now look at this. This is my newer Bouge RV 9BB solar panel setup. it's rated for 720 watts. And I was pulling 789 watts. I was getting overrated power. So I will tell you guys, cold weather and clear conditions, solar is awesome. The problem is here in Utah, where I live, as we get into the colder temperatures, we also have a lot more clouds and storms. And if it's not cloudy and stormy, we get this pollution inversion. So kind of interesting. We lose a lot of efficiency with solar. So on this perfect day, I was getting 1,700 watts. I was just ecstatic about that. I was like, look at this power. This is so amazing. Because I mean, I don't have that much solar, but this charged my batteries up super quick. I feel her pain, Jason. You failed to say hi to his daughter, Lizzie. I'm sure he's gone by now. Chad and Lizzie? Really? Oh, dang it. Well, if he's still here, I'll say hi to his daughter, Lizzie. Dang it. Sometimes I just fail to recommend or recognize people. There's so many names in here. Okay. Want to find a power station with a large battery capacity but a small AC inverter. Hey, well, I have a power station that's coming up that has a humongous battery and a okay power station. You're going to say, oh, you're just sharpening a pencil? Okay. Pencil sharpener. Yeah, that's a... Okay, so there is a power station. Okay, is that good? I think we're good, Demi. She's sharpening her pencil. Okay, so large power station, huge power station coming out with not a super small inverter, but I don't know. If you wanted just a power station with a small inverter, just buy a standalone battery and put a 300 watt inverter on it. You know, that'd be better. Hey, Patrick, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. That is a long time up, so go get some good sleep. For UPSs, Power Queen 12 volt 10 amp is a drop in replacement for the... Okay, cool. So the 10 amp battery, 10 amp hour battery is basically the same size. Cool, good to know. Yeah, that seems like a definite problem there. You mentioned these charging issues. Is it charging with AC power or charging with solar panels? When you do your panels outside and bank inside, how long and what gauge is the wire? I use, so from my solar panels down from my shed underground is all 10 gauge wire. I recently upgraded that to 10 AUG wire. And then from the part right before my door, under my door into my house is 12 gauge wire. I just haven't upgraded that wire. And it's probably about 50 feet total. 50 to 55 feet, a mixture of 10 AUG and 12 AUG wire. And I will be testing the voltage drop that I get through that wire as I do that voltage drop video. Yeah, that's super interesting, the charging issue you're mentioning there. Clarify on if you're doing AC charging or solar panel charging. Yeah, Gregory's like, I was always seeing these good results. He gets really good results out of his Bouge RV panels. Okay, John Tate has a UPS that's running forever. I mean, that's good. That's good. Not all of them are like that. I mean, maybe you added some cooling to it. Yeah, I probably should end live stream sometime soon. She loves coloring it, and we just have the automatic pencil sharpener down here, but she probably wants to be on the live stream too. Okay, I'm just flying through some of these comments here. Try two of the same Blue Eddy bricks so I know it's not the AC brick. That is super interesting, the charging issue that you're getting. It won't charge up past 80%. What if you take it all the way down to 0? What happens if you discharge it all the way down to 0 and try charging it back up? Have you done that? Unfortunately, the AC200P doesn't have a firmware update option, so yeah. Let me see. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm jumping back here to some of my notes. I want to see if I've left out anything. If you guys haven't had a chance, make sure you enter into the giveaway. Like I said, I'm only announcing it in this video. I'm not announcing the giveaway or how to enter in any other videos. So out of the people that have watched this video, you guys are the only ones entered, so you have a pretty good chance of winning. The last thing I wanted to do, the last thing at least I wanted to mention. Okay. So I've kind of had this thing about testing these micro heaters. So these are all these small little heaters. They're fairly affordable. Let me get that comment out of the screen here. Where's that? Right there. Okay. So Honeywell and Mr. Heat. These are the two smaller ones. Now, the Honeywell is cool because it has two modes, a high and a low, and this one has a switch for shutting off the heater if it tips over. So I think this one does 250 watts and 150 watts, so pretty cool there. So these are perfect for heating up a small space. So if you have a truck camper, or if you have like a little teardrop camper, or if you're just sitting in an area in your house and you just want to heat up your area, you could run this off a power station and solar. So if you have a power station that gets 200 watts input, put this on low, and you'll keep that running during the day until, you know, sun goes away. So pretty cool here. The Honeywell is a good unit. I'm going to do a future video on this. This one's a little bit cheaper. This is the My Heat Buddy from Lasco. This one is just one setting. It's 200 watts. It pulls right at 198 watts exactly. And it's just a good little heater. I like this guy. Only one mode though, and this can tip over and it still runs. So probably not the safest thing. I mean, I don't know if it'd catch a fire at 200 watts. It does get fairly hot, the air coming out of here. But this one's pretty cool too. And then I purchased the cheapest 500 watt heater. So say you had 600 watts, 500 watts of solar, your batteries were full. What are you going to do with that leftover power? Well, in the winter, just dump it into heat. So you have this little heater here, just put it in a cold room and let it heat up your room while your solar panels are outputting power. So I'm just like thinking of ways to efficiently heat your house during the winter months. And so if you had some of these smaller heaters with a small power station and lots of solar, I think it's a great option. The other thing is I'm kind of wanting to do a camping video in my truck in the winter and to see if I can keep it warm off just a battery running this throughout the night. So that might be a fun little video. Do you have a favorite 12-volt cigarette to fridge plug that holds tighter than most? No, the 12-volt cigarette plugs are horrible. You just need to make your own connection. I have a video about making it converting the fridge plug to a 5521. You can do that as long as your fridge doesn't pull over 50 watts or so. So if you have your fridge set to eco mode, that works well. That video is on my channel. It's like how to make your own fridge cable. The other thing is if you just chop the end off and go with like Anderson Power Pole or SAE, you can connect up directly to your vehicle or a 12-volt system. Most 12-volt plugs are horrible, and they all just bounce out. Live stream where your daughter hosts and you're the guest speaker. Yeah, that's funny when she came in. That is so funny. You guys are awesome. Upvote. hey, I will try to be the first one to review it, but I have to have it first, right? I have to get the power station. I do not have the EcoFlow River Pro. I do feel like the River 2 that you're mentioning here, I think that's the best option out of all three, just because I think that inverter might run a full-size fridge. We'll have to see. Hey, Farside. Iceco, I think, has mentioned a few new products. I don't think they're coming out with anything in the next little bit. I love their VL series. I love their VL Pro series. I kind of like how the VL series is super efficient, simple, and a little bit cheaper. So if you want a great fridge, I like the VLs like 45, 60. If you want a little bit more fancy features, the VL Pros are pretty cool. Okay, we're getting back to JB Maps. I ran all three of the AC 200Ps. I have until they stopped at 5%. 2 of 3 units went to 100, and then one went to 80, and then I used it down to 65. Only went to 67, given a replacement. Told to keep the def. Okay, so you got a replacement then, and you got to keep both units. Okay, that ain't too bad. That ain't too bad. Sit tight here. Preparedness and convenience in this hobby. In the suburbs, it was convenient, not needed, and not needing an extension cord. Now on a homestead, it's even more useful having a battery on a cart to use cord tools. I didn't know you moved. Well, I don't know. Maybe your other. The last video that I've seen from you was the running off the saw running off the AC 200P. Was that at your homestead or was that at the suburb? You'll have to let me know. That was a long time ago, though. I probably need to check out your channel and see what else you're putting out. Okay, so Joe has a couple he runs off of little heaters he runs in the bathroom. That's good use for it. New Air 400-watt flat panel oil-filled radiator. Works great. Can't catch anything on fire and shuts off if you tip it over. That is good to know. Thanks for recommending it. So 400 watts. That's not too bad. Yeah, low wattage cookers would be good too. Yeah, the problem is 700 watts at the beginning. A small power station wouldn't. Most small power stations wouldn't pull that, but it'd be interesting to see it. Okay, also, why would there be an issue with running 2 sets of batteries, 100 amp hour batteries in series, then taking the 2 pairs of 24-volt series batteries and running them in parallel? I don't think there'd be an issue with that at all. I mean, you're just, as long as the whole system's 24 volts, it should be fine. Then taking the 2 pairs. So you're talking 4 batteries, 200 amp hours wired together in series, another 200 amp hours wired together in series, and then running those in parallel. No, that's fine. That's just a 2S, 2P configuration, so that'd work fine. Vote yes on the truck camping video. I was so interested. I wanted to do it last year so bad, but I never had time. But I think I'm going to have a lot more time since I'm cutting back on the reviews that I'm doing. You guys got to understand, review videos take up so much time. Some of my other videos I can put out in like a day. Boom, done. Review videos take weeks of testing and overnight tests and charging and back and forth. So as I back off the reviews just a little bit, I'm still doing reviews, but I just don't want to do them all the time. I'll be able to have more time for fun content. So that's what I'm hoping. More fun content, more interesting content, and truck camping. It'll be fun. Oh, Bo uses the little heater already to run on his EB70. Good to know. That's good that it works. Okay, so maybe I was correct. I think I went to your channel recently, and I was like, okay, I haven't seen any new videos for a little bit, but hey, that's cool that you're at a homestead now. That is awesome. I'm jealous, man. I think having a homestead is awesome. You're welcome for the advice. Okay, any final questions, guys? I would probably get to ending this a little bit soon, so if anybody has any other things they want to talk about, any other questions about future content, let me know. Jeff, my father-in-law, would love to share what he's doing with his F-150 and camper shell. I joke that I have everything that the guys in the trailer has. Yeah, so Jeff has a pretty cool setup with his truck. So what he does is he puts the seats up in the back of his F-150 because it's completely flat. Well, mostly flat. No, actually, it's completely flat in the back. And so he has kind of his fridge set up, and he's built a wooden shelf with a lot of the stuff and shelves that go into that, so it's kind of cool. And then in the back, he has his sleeping arrangement and TV and a lot of other cool stuff in there. So that would be cool, Jeff. We should definitely do a video on it. Maybe what we need to do is go truck camping and see whose setup works better. I'm pretty sure your setup would work a lot better than mine. Rep told me not to run their batteries in series or parallel setup. Perhaps he just wants to be... No. Okay. Fly power might... So technically the battery itself might only support parallel connections. So you just need to make sure the battery is the inside of the battery. If they're lithium batteries, the BMS sometimes are only supported for parallel connections because they don't take a 24 volt connection. It'll fry the BMS. So make sure the battery can actually accept 24 volts. And that would be the issue is they're telling you don't do it because they're like, for example, I have a battery in the other room. So behind me is my storage room. It's just filled with junk, lots of expensive junk. One of the batteries I have, the first lithium iron phosphate Dr. Prepare I reviewed, did not allow series connections. So it can only be connected in parallel. Now their newer batteries, the newer Dr. Prepares allow series connections because I gave them that feedback. I was like, this is junk. We want to be able to connect these up to 48 volts if we have to. So they did make that change and now that you can. So I don't think they're just making you want to buy more batteries. I think there might be a voltage issue there. 300 watt rice cooker. Wow, that's efficient. Cool, cool. Zigzag, that's awesome. Sandy Rose, hit the thumbs up button again. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Practical Engineer, thanks for this. It's been a fun live stream. I agree. I enjoy these. Hey, William, have a good night. Thanks for joining in. PM, sadly, I already bought two 24 volt all-in-ones. Okay, so you already have the inverters and setups that only run with 24 volt systems. Yeah, I think the name would be EB5A, EB70A. We'll see what they come out with. Yeah, everyone had some great questions. I really appreciate the questions here. I feel like it really gets the content flowing. You're welcome, Bo, and good luck to everyone. And just like I said, remember, I will be doing the announcement. I'll post it on a community post who won. Make sure you guys get right back to me. If you are one of the winners, you better get back to me quick. Thanks, Mike. Hey, have you been here the whole time? You're just commenting right now. You always have good comments, Mike219. Thanks for commenting on my videos. Appreciate it. Okay, so the first 4 batteries I bought from another vendor, 125 amp hours, states no problem. But one of the 4 batteries looks swollen. Pergananate. There was I'm trying to remember. There was I can't remember. I think it was some sort of social media thing where it was like all the ways pregnant are that word pregnant is spelled wrong. And there was one of them was a pergananate. I always remember that. Man, swollen. That must be... That's interesting, man. You'll just have to let them know. There should be a warranty for that. Shannon, you're so welcome. Thanks for joining. Zigzag, thanks for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. Ooh, the heater should work with that low voltage mode. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if it'd be more efficient that way. I doubt it. I think it would just pull less watts. So maybe instead of pulling full 200, it might only pull like 100 watts or maybe 150. Interesting. I'd have to try that. Yeah, PM's agreeing with what I had here. Yeah, it's just not designed the BMS. Okay, Miss Catnipper. I just posted the form in the chat. Look in the live chat. Click on the form fill it out, and you're entered. Keith, you're very welcome. Gee, maybe that guy with the idea of featuring DIY stuff is onto something. We do like your reviews, however. There's so much more that could be shared. Yeah, I don't want to be just a review channel. I think there's so much more to offer, and there's so much fun things to talk about. So yeah, I want you guys to kind of get to know me of who I really am instead of just talking about specs and batteries, because I have some fun stuff that I do in my life. So we can have some fun too. It depends, PM. If there actually some lithium iron phosphate batteries can swell. I wouldn't say it's quite a fire risk. It just depends if they were used previously or not. So, but if it's a swollen pouch cell that's a lithium ion or NMC, yeah, bad issue there. Yep, you're welcome. We're always these live chats are just, this is what I love doing at the end of live chats, is kind of just talking about questions that you guys have, and I always learn from you guys too. So it's kind of a mutual back and forth. Yeah, and they want a video of the battery. Hey, an easy way to get them a video is go into YouTube under your account, so JB Maps. You can actually create a video and upload it. So what you do is you can go on your computer, so film the video with your cell phone, and then upload it to YouTube on your account, and then you just give them the link. And then there's no easy, you don't have to worry about transferring large data files back and forth via email. Just upload it to your YouTube account and send the video to them. Sadly, my dog, I believe, has both of his legs crossed. He wants to go out. Yeah. Hey, good night. Enjoy taking your dog outside. Hopefully you got warm weather. Yep, good night. I found you checking out the reviews on the AC200P, and I'm glad I did. Hey, well, wait till you see my comparison video for the 3 large Blue Yeti units. I think you'll enjoy that one. Just to see, I think the AC200P is a very good value. I think it still has a very good value of how it stacks up against the other prices of the other power stations. With the 700-watt heater on the EB3A, the power trips, but the power lift runs it at... Oh, interesting. Hey, good to know. I never thought about using power lift mode on a small power station like that. That 490 watts, that's got to eat through that battery like nobody's business. You could always use the good old Variac and pretty much run any resistive load at a lower voltage. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good. Good point. Good point. Oh, you're just listening to this guy talk on YouTube. She's probably like, oh, throw me a bone. Throw my ball. I don't know if Shannon, if your dog likes fetch, but our dog loves fetch, and he fetches until he dies, and I think that's why he has a lot of leg problems nowadays. But we got him the surgery, so he's going to be doing better. Yeah, basically, heaters are the only option for power lift or X boost on EcoFlow. So just be aware, that's pretty much the only thing you can run. Hair dryers and heaters are really the only thing that you can run with power lift. Glad you like the live stream, guys. Okay, so that swollen battery, I was told by Beluda Rip, is dangerous. I figure I would use my phone and just email the... Okay, yeah, you could just email it to him. The other option is you can also throw it up to Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever and just send them the full-size video. Do you think you'll test the Vigorpool portable unit? What's the Vigorpool portable unit? I don't know about that one. Yep, PM's onto it. Thinking alike, great minds think alike, PM. We're just Google Drive, Dropbox, lots of different options. See you later, Jeff. Enjoy a movie. Hey, I'm glad you joined it. We're right before quitting, so check out the pinned comment. It is a Google form, and you can enter into the Google form all the information, fill out the questions there. And yeah, that's how you enter. I will be selecting the winner on Monday. I have the AC200P with the expansion. I only wish the voltage of the expansion battery was a little higher to max out the 500 watt input. Yeah. They have a special... I guess not. Yeah, you're right. They don't. There's a special adapter that you could purchase to go from the B230 to the AC 200 input. That would allow you to charge almost as fast. I think I'm going to do another expansion battery video. So yeah, I'm going to expand the idea of doing a DIY expansion battery for these power stations and kind of just talk about boosting that like voltages so you can get more charging input. I must have missed Gonza's talk. Why am I missing that chat? So they say truck here. Truck. Where did I miss this before? Okay, whatever. I can't see your other comment, I'm sorry. Upload the video to something unless the video is very small, the emails. Yeah, so most emails are limited to 20 megabytes. Okay, well, guys, this has been super fun today. I always love these live streams. I hope everyone has entered into the giveaway. Like always, I asked for feedback in that form, so please let me know video ideas. Let me know what type of content you guys want to see. Let me know, what you think about the channel. I'm always looking about improving it, and I really appreciate you guys checking out the live stream today. Anyway, thanks for spending your Friday night with me. We'll go ahead and end the live stream now. So thank you guys so much. Have a good one. We will see you next time.